Okay, so we're back here and we have the desoldering gun heating up. I'm going to heat up my soldering iron, and I'm first going to apply fresh solder to these points right here before I even attempt to desolder, because that seems to work best. To introduce some leaded solder into this first. So actually, I am going to want to even just add some flux first. And I'm going to come in with some fresh solder. Okay, so those 5 points are all nicely blended there with fresh solder. So what I'm hoping I can do is just come in now and free up those 5 pins. Those are some fairly big legs, but as you can, I'm not sure how well you can see that on the camera, but those look to be freed up. So probably not completely free. I'm gonna probably want to come in there and try to take some more out with the solder braid. Because before I try to separate these two, I can smell some almost smells a bit fishy there, because there are going to be some bad capacitors in here. That's why we're going in to replace. And I think as you can heat the board, you can sometimes smell that fishy smell that a bad capacitor gives. Okay, we're gonna hope that they're all cleared off there now. But this is going to be the real challenge on the back side here, so I need some more solder. And I'm going to need to blend, again, the same idea on this side. So put some flux in there. And again, it's going to be the same idea of just wanting to come in here and blend that old solder with new. You want to get that blended in there nicely. This is a big thermal mass here, this big ground plane. Sort of free that up. You really want to blend that old solder. Get a bit blend like you can see there. So now what I want to do is come in and see how much of that I can remove. This gun does work really well. So, I've gotten most of that solder there. It's definitely not enough for this to break free yet. I'm going to need to come in and desolder. So I knew this wasn't going to come easy. It sure looks like all that solder has been freed. And then from this side here, it's hard to tell as well. Definitely don't want to be forcing anything because these joints are delicate. So I don't know how well you guys can see that, but those spots look like we've cleared all the solder out of there, but it only takes the smallest amount to still hold an absolute solid death grip on this entire unit. Any one of these pins or anchors to be holding it together still. I think I want to get in there with like a bit of a pry tool. I think if I get in here. Okay, so it looks like it's freed. And that one's looks to be only this one that's keeping things captive. Okay, we are starting to separate now. This is where we want to make sure that our pins here are also separated. It doesn't look like there's much holding it anymore. Okay, looks like all those pins are definitely freed except for maybe this one here. I'm going to come in with some fresh wick. Okay, those pins sure look clear to my eyes from here. I think it's this corner one right now. We're close. Okay, everything feels like it's been freed up. I got flux all over my hands. There we go. That's exactly what I was hoping too. That this would stay behind and we would just remove this section. So a complete success. All those pads that are super delicate down there that I've seen lifted in other videos are all perfectly intact and have not been even manipulated at all. As you can see, that header there is still completely untouched. So when I put this all back together, I'll come in here and clean this up. It's already still clean. I'll be able to come in there and clean that up and just reconnect those pins on the top side right here where we were able to free them up. Whereas if we had desoldered it from the bottom, there's a very good chance that one of these pads underneath here could have lifted, and I've seen it in a few videos. So by doing it the method that we just did, it takes some work, takes some patience, but it was a very clean removal, as you can see here. So that's exactly what I was hoping for. I had some flux now on my hands that I've gotten smudged a little bit around the board, but that's okay because I plan to go over this board and do the complete restoration after this process of replacing these 3 capacitors and the ones that are in here. So with that, now we should be able to remove this bottom cover, which is also pressure fitted like the top one, and it should just come apart like that. And then inside, it looks good. I was worried that there would be a lot of corrosion or something in there because we probably have failed capacitors. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 capacitors in this one. There's a bunch of different, no, 6. We have 1 big one, 4 tightly packed ones there, and then this one here, which is only for the RF unit. And if you don't bother to use the RF unit, which nobody probably ever will again, it's not necessary to replace. But I'm going to be in there and I'm going to replace all 4 or 6 in this case of these capacitors. And also I've purchased better capacitors than what these OEM ones are, so that when I'm done, hopefully this will never need to be done again, because as you can see, that procedure is not very pleasant. And I do intend to replace these with long-lasting, hopefully lifetime, my lifetime at least, and hopefully the next generation and beyond will still be able to enjoy this Nintendo if they choose to. So a success. It took some time, it took some patience, but an absolute perfect flawless removal in the end, I think. I mean, I'm sure it could have been executed a lot smoother than what we did here, but the end result. And it even has these, because there's a bridge rectifier in this power supply. It can actually take AC or DC power, which is not very usual. Most are just DC power, but it has a bridge rectifier here. These 4 diodes form a bridge rectifier and can accept that AC current. And we have a voltage regulator over here too that I'm going to replace. So I've got all those parts on order, all these capacitors, some voltage regulators, and even these diodes, but I'll decide whether or not I decide to change those. The capacitors for sure, probably the voltage regulator, and maybe those diodes too. Might just give this a complete refurb since I'm in here, and yeah, rebuild it and have it be as good as new again. Probably better, hopefully. That's the plan at least. So I got the capacitors on order. They're gonna be a couple more days yet. It's the long weekend here now. It's Easter weekend, so I'm hoping they'll be here on Monday or Tuesday. That's what it says right now. So this could be a project for next weekend or maybe during the week. I was hoping to get this at least disassembled as far as we are here, so that during the week it wouldn't be so difficult to just replace the capacitors and not have to mess around like we did tonight, because I knew this was going to be a problem. So in the end it went pretty good. I'm going to do some cleanup here and prepare for those new capacitors. So we'll see you guys soon. There's lots more work on this Nintendo here before we're done with it, but hopefully at the end of this we'll have those wavy video lines that were noticed in when I tested this. This should hopefully fix that problem. So more to come. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.